I guess so. Okay, I think we're recording. Good. So Kayla asked if this is the program that we're going to use. I use Zoom. I think most of your other courses are going to use Collaborate. I've been using Zoom for 2 years already, so I just am going to keep using Zoom. I like that I can, well, no one's on screen here, but that's okay. That's okay. It's early, so don't worry about it. But I just find that Zoom is way better. It's less glitchy. Awesome, thanks, Owen. So I'm going to use Zoom. Hopefully that's okay. There's really only 2 options for us at the college, so yeah. But I'll be posting kind of a general link, sort of a classroom link on Moodle. I had to change my account, so my old account is gone. Anyways, that's on my end, but anyways. Okay, I'm Emily. I'm your math teacher. It's nice to meet you. I hope you guys had fun at the orientation. I did not make it because I am in Edmonton, so that's hard. Not impossible, but I couldn't make it for that one day. So, any poodle. All right, I am not a WET graduate, but I did do my master's in statistics, so stats is kind of my jam, but I've been teaching math and stats for, I don't know, definitely 5 years. Feels shorter, but I guess, anyways, 5 years. So lots of math. I taught this course last year, and it was really fun. So I am changing up a couple of things like the textbook, but other than that, I think we're kind of ready to go. All right, so today is just going to be, I don't know, just kind of housekeeping. Here's how things are going to go, that kind of stuff. And so just hanging out today, no lecture, none until next week. Okay. So let me start here, and I want to share my other screen. I had some echo issues, but Owen helped me figure it out. So, well, actually, Owen figured it out. All right, share content on my little iPad. Okay, share screen, start broadcast, okay. So, okay. It's just a little bit different when I'm here all alone and you guys are out there in the world. But here we go. All right, so here, we'll start here. Welcome to, well, it's math for water engineering technology, but I just call it wet math. Makes it sound more fun. So what I do is I write notes on the screen here, like you'll see, and then I post those as a PDF on Moodle once we're finished. And then, so you'll always, so whatever I write here, you'll always have access to. And then, like I said, the recording, I want to have it so that it catches kind of me, I guess, as I'm talking, because I do a lot of this. But also it should be capturing the screen share, and unless you're speaking, it won't show your video if you're showing your video. But like I said, if you're not comfortable with showing your face, because I'll post these on YouTube, the videos, then just turn your camera off. And then if you're not comfortable speaking on YouTube, then just ask me in the chat, which I'm just kind of looking for because I want to have that on the side here. Okay. Good. All right. Kind of got the chat off to the side. Oh, if you post your screenshot as the lecture note in Moodle, it does show the Edmonton time. Yeah, so a little bit confusing, but better than it has been. We just moved from Ottawa to Edmonton, so kind of a weird, I don't know if you've seen the skull back here, got a little buddy. My husband's a dentist in the military, and so we were posted to Ottawa, and then now we're posted to Edmonton. So we just moved to Edmonton, so things got a little crazy now, but we're just kind of settling in. So that's why we have a skull. Anyways, you can take apart. That's not math. So anyways, I actually had to angle the my whole desk because it was so sunny in here. I don't know if you can see, it's really sunny. Need some blinds. But anyway, so Edmonton is better than Ottawa in terms of timing, so that's good. But if there's ever anything that I need to go back to Kelowna for, I'll be there. Okay, don't worry. He's from Vernon, he's homegrown. So, all right, sidetrack. So I'm Emily. Lee, if you can believe it, 5 E's. Anyways, used to be Gustafson, so Lee is much easier, although it's harder to say Emily Lee. But Emily Lee. Yes. In terms of contact, hopefully you got my email. So my email is eli@okanagan.bc.ca. And so hopefully you got my email. Do it in a different color. Make sure you got my email last night. Okay. Looks like you did because you were able to join in, and we're all here. Everyone I'm expecting to see, they're all here, so that's great. And I decided to attack you on your personal emails. Hopefully that's okay. If you ever want to change the email that I send to, then just let me know and I'll change it. But I just grabbed your personal emails because I think you guys did it in your orientation where you set up your Moodle email to go to probably your personal email, but I just wanted to make sure that it went to you. So just make sure you got that email. But since you're all here, I think it's pretty safe to say. Okay, so that's my email. I give out my cell phone number. I don't know. It's been really good for me. So my phone number, my 250-864-8386. So that's my cell. You can text me if you're working on a problem. Don't call me because I probably won't pick up. My phone is always on silent, but whenever I get a text, it'll kind of pling everywhere. So that's good. So you can text me. And what I find is instead of, sitting down and drafting an email and saying, oh, hi, Emily, how are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. In a text, you can just kind of get it out there right away. So if you're working on a problem, hey, Emily, I'm working on this problem. And then let's say you're working on a piece of paper here and you just take a picture. What am I doing wrong? And then I can do the same thing. I can kind of work on it on the side, send you a picture back, and it's just kind of more efficient and just a lot quicker. Okay. So that's my cell. So text me anytime. Doesn't mean I'm going to answer anytime, but usually I just kind of like to, you hate to say get it out of the way, but just kind of attack it right away. So it's just easier because then things don't pile up. So you can text me anytime. Oh, hey Ash. You do only need to identify yourself in the first one, and then I've and then I'll save all your. I don't delete any conversations. I have a lot of weird, like, hey, working on this problem. I've never like long text messages from people. I don't know who it is, so it doesn't matter per se, but it makes it easier. If you just tell me who it is one time, and then I'll save you in my phone, and then I'll know. So, cool, awesome, good question. Okay, so for office hours, I don't have any set office hours because what happened last term when we kind of switched to online was me just sitting at my computer, just kind of hanging out for 2 hours. No one came. So instead, because I am available kind of all the time, and that's fine, I'm doing them by appointment. But honestly, if you just text me, say, hey, can we meet on Zoom? Then great, let's do it. I'll just hop on here and we can just have a one-on-one session. So yeah, that's how I'm gonna do office hours. So it is by appointment, but pretty well anytime that you need me, I'll be available. And if I'm not, I'll just tell you. That's okay. So, okay. So here, let's talk about, well, first of all, any questions? I'm trying to keep track of the chat here. It looks like it's calm for now, so that's good. But if you do have any questions that come up, then you can jump in, unmute yourself, or just throw it in the chat. That's fine. Okay. So for the textbook, we're going to be using a free textbook. It's a different textbook from, so I was using a free one last term. I found it was very wordy. I just kind of inherited it from the person who taught it previously. And so it was just kind of like, here you go. We use this textbook. Okay, great. But from using it last term, I didn't love it. It's very, just verbose, very wordy. So I have found a different textbook that I think I like a little bit better. And so it's by Lippmann and Rasmussen. I think it's 2 P's, Lippmann and Rasmussen. Okay. And it's a pre-calculus textbook, which is essentially what this course is pre-calculus. And so it's, I think it's just called Pre-Calculus Second Edition. Okay. And I put that in the course outline, so we'll have a look at the course outline in a little bit here. But this is just an open textbook, and I posted the whole textbook on Moodle, but I'll show you the link in the course outline, and the link should take you to a place where you can just download each chapter individually, which might be nicer instead of having to open up the whole textbook every time, which is an open textbook posted on Moodle. But we'll try all these things out. Okay. So that's the textbook. So kind of nothing to worry about there. I'm trying to just use all these free resources that we have. Of course, it's not as easy as making you just go buy a textbook and use that stuff. So I am still kind of working on setting up the assignment. So don't worry, you don't have an assignment until next week. So, but assignments will be in my open math. Just in case you're curious, you won't need to make an account. I'll just link it in your Moodle and then you'll just be able to access it through Moodle. So, but just in case you want to check it out, then it's kind of a cool resource. So, all right, good. Calculators. Make sure I'm showing it. There it is. So the wet department has you using this one specifically. So I'll write down what it's called. So the calculator is a Casio FX991EX. And let me see here, I had it on Amazon here. Copy, just so you know. There. I feel like I did it. Okay. So this is the calculator that the wet department uses. And do I really care? No, but it's just nice to have the same one so that if we're talking about buttons and things, then we're just looking at the same thing. Okay. Let me see here. A little lag. All right. It's got some nice, let's see if I can add a, got a glass table, just so I can go on it. Use photo, great. Here, so it's got cool things like, you wait, hey, I want to draw on here. Like the log base whatever button is kind of the moneymaker on this thing. As long as you've got something that kind of looks like this, then that's good. You don't even need this fancy button here. Oh, lagging, I think. The ES. Okay, what does that one look like? Like I said, it doesn't matter to me. This is the one that they gave me though. So let's see here. ES. Okay. Is it this one perchance? It's uglier. Is it this one? This one's the one they usually have in the bookstore. This one, let's see here, also has that, I'm gonna zoom in, also has that log base, whatever. Sorry, I don't have a pointer here, but it has the log base anything of anything, and that's the kind of the key component. So yeah, you'll notice that these look very similar. So it doesn't matter. This one's fine. So how about this? I'll change my blurb here to say, or FX 991 ES. Works for me. Okay. Like I said, you can use just that. No programmable calculators, no, because, but am I able to check it? No. So yeah, you can have a programmable calculator. You're not supposed to, but if you spend all that time programming it, I think you're gonna do all right on the test anyways. So yeah, so, but no, that's good. We're not supposed to have programmable ones, but this term is kind of weird, so you'll be able to get away with it. Good. All right. We've talked about the calculator, so that's a good one. But like I said, as long as you have, and this is just to make your life easier, you don't actually need it. You'll just need to memorize more if you don't have this fancy log base something button. Yeah, which exists on that other one anyways, so no biggie. Okay, how about, just check for some questions here, but I think we're doing all right. All right, I'm going to switch us to the course outline, just so we can make sure, or I can make sure that we went through it all. Oh, I guess we should do it in order. Yeah, don't be in the fog about Lux. That's right. So like I said, I post all the lectures on YouTube. I've been doing that for a couple of years now, so the only difference is that now I'm showing my hands, my arms. Not that different. And depending on kind of lag times and stuff like that, I might not do that every lecture, but at least for the intro one, I wanted to make sure that you see who you're dealing with. So there is the link to the lectures on YouTube. If you just search Emily, well, Emily spelled funny, Emily Lee, 75 subscribers. Be a YouTube star in no time. Anyway, so they're usually just pretty boring. I guess I shouldn't say that, but just the notes that we write. But like I said, also the notes that I'll post on Moodle separately, so you'll have them. You don't have to watch the video to get the notes, but it might be nice to kind of explain. So I also posted the textbook here. Let's see, kind of a biggie, so there we go. Oh yeah, pre-calculus, an investigation of functions. So you can get printed copies. I've never actually ordered any printed copies of the open textbooks. So I guess Lulu is the place to go. This is obviously not about our bookstore, but here, if you click that link, is where it'll take you to kind of the individual PDFs of each chapter. And so, so you can order the full book, or you can just have the PDF. I don't think that you'll need to print these off. There's not any reason to. A lot of them are exercises, so a lot of these pages are exercises, of course, because you need to practice. You know? But yeah, so that's the textbook that we're using. So I posted that there. And then, of course, I've got the link to our Zoom meeting. And then I've got our course outline, which was giving me grief, but I think we're on board now. Okay. So I put the link there too. So there's a couple of ways to get to that spot. Oops. There. So starting next week, we're gonna do a bit of background. I don't know how many of you kind of finished high school last term and things got weird, and maybe, you know, maybe just in general, we're feeling a little bit rusty about math in general. So I do want to spend some time on the background stuff, right? Things that I expect you to know. I don't know if you heard horror stories about last term, but we did a diagnostic test on the first day, and then we kind of spent some time going through that, and I don't know, this term is weird enough, so we haven't done that. Or if Allison did, I wasn't part of it, but I don't think so. I think she had her hands full. So then we'll just kind of start talking about functions, and basically the whole term will just be about different types of functions. How do we use them? When do we use them? For you guys, exponents and logs in particular are going to be very important. So then we move into kind of logarithmic functions, and then we get into some trig, and then just kind of, because it's part of your learning outcomes, we do a little bit of stats, statistics, which is kind of my jam. So it will kind of end on that because it's just kind of easy after trig, and kind of time permitting. I think a lot of you, now I can't remember what stream it is that takes stats. Does anyone know? Because you guys kind of split up, and then some of you take stats, but I encourage you all to take stats. It'll be fun, and be fun to see you guys again. So we have these learning outcomes. They're not necessarily going to make sense now, right? You could read through them and see if anything looks reasonable, or kind of things that you remember. But it is a really good tool to look back on for the final exam, right? Because here are the 10 main things that I'm expected for you to take out of this course. So when you're studying, of course, the final exam has to touch on all these things. So just a study tool later on. Oh, thanks, Ash. Environmental monitoring takes stats. Mm-hmm. Will it expand on grade 12 pre-calc? Probably, but because it's pre-calc, they might be pretty similar. I don't actually know the grade 12 curriculum that well. Grade 12 pre-calc, I'd have to have a look at kind of a course outline for that, but probably a bit of an expansion. Good. Oh, it looks very simple. Well, that's good. Breezy. Good. If you have taken a course like this, right, you can talk to Allison and see if, you know, if you can kind of bypass this course. I know that some people come in and they've taken calculus already, and then so then they don't really need to take this course. But it's just so that everyone's kind of up to snuff on their math. But if it looks similar, that's good. Okay. So for the course evaluation, we're gonna do, so what we did is we decided, okay, well, final exams are not gonna be worth nearly as much as they have been in the past. Usually a final exam is about 40% of your final grade. We've bumped that down to 20 and then redistributed, of course. So we're gonna have 30% assignments. So that is a lot of your grade. So you can expect kind of a lot of time spent on assignments. Not a lot, but a fair amount. And they're gonna be online, so through My Open Math, and I'll give you the link. But like I said, I haven't been able to, I need help. I need Steve's help to help me figure out how to link the two, and then we'll be ready to rock and roll. So, and then we'll do 50% tests. So that's going to be 2 tests. I'm hoping for 3 tests. 5 credits for Math 113 for civil engineering. That is up to Allison. She'll probably send me a course outline for it, and then I'll be able to say, because I've never taught that course, but I suspect it's pretty similar, so it might be worth talking to Allison about. Yeah. So for the tests, I want to take a, I want to take a poll and see if you would prefer to have 2 or 3 tests throughout the term. So of course the 50% would be split evenly amongst the 2 or 3. Add a question. How can I do this on the fly? Your polling session is inactive. Okay. Here. How many tests? 2, 3. Maybe I do it through here. Oh, look at you guys go. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Someone vote for 2. All right. 2, 3, 3. Okay, so it's looking like 3. Okay, let's see if I can go back there. Wait. Thanks, guys. That's great. I would also go for 5. That would be amazing. But I don't think we have that kind of time. So we will have 3 tests. Okay, so that's different from the course outline, so I'll switch that. I wanted to kind of check with you, and so 50% total. What's nice about having 3 tests is, you know, if one goes terribly, then we can kind of have some wiggle room amongst the 50%. In the past, I usually say if you miss a test, then I'll just put the weight on the final. I don't really care why you miss it. In this case, we can't do that because the final isn't worth very much. And so if you miss a test, then you'll have to talk to me, and we're gonna have to figure something out. Okay, because ideally before the test, so that we can come up with a plan before. Otherwise, it'll just be a 0. Okay? So tests will be written during class time, so during our scheduled class time, just because that's, I think that's most like how we would usually do it. I'm trying to keep it, hey, connection failed. Okay, let's try again. Hey, it bumped me out. All right. It's all right. Get back in the groove here. It's still recording. I don't know. All right. Okay. And I need to disconnect audio. All right. Share content. Technology. Okay. I think we're back, maybe? Now I've lost the chat. Okay, good. Okay, back on track. So tests will be written during class time. Let me know before a test if you have to miss it. Okay. So before the test, you're gonna let me know if for some reason you can't write it, but it'll just be online, and somehow I'll kind of figure that out as I go. I'm new to this too, so okay, but we'll deal with that when we have the tests. So the breakdown for the 3 tests might be that we still have one kind of beginning of October, beginning of November, and then maybe a quick follow-up one at the end of November, because then you'll have seen all the material on a test before the final exam. So let's go back to that course outline. Where is it? Okay. So the final exam is cumulative, so it's going to cover all our material. It is only 20% of your grade, but it will be during the final exam scheduled time. So again, it's going to be during a specific time frame. There's no wiggle room on that, so you do have to write it in that time. But the final exam schedule is hopefully a little bit easier for them to put together. They've been struggle city for the past 2 years. I guess they got fancy new software that didn't work. So anyways, so hopefully it's better now that we don't need to deal with rooms. Hey, it dropped me again. Sorry, just no change from, yeah, I know it, because it looks good on here, but it's not following when I scroll. Anyways, that's kind of the end of, wait, something changed. What changed here? Oh, I'm not sharing my screen anymore. That's what changed. because it logged me out. Okay, up my nose. I'll stop the up your nose video, disconnect audio. All right. There. I think I'm okay. Guess I'll share this again. I'm almost at the end of everything I need to tell you guys anyways. Although I'm sure I forgot something. That's just, despite my list on the side here, there's always something that I'm like, should have said that. That's all right. I'll see you guys again on Tuesday. Okay. Okay. Good. Back to normal. Okay. So we've talked about the tests. We've decided on 3 tests. And then the final exam we talked about. One thing that we've adopted from, I can't remember if it was SFU who was doing it or, but anyways, if we have a test, so one of our 3 tests or even the final exam, and there's work that I'm kind of like, hey, what's going on here? Then we're saying, okay, well, I might contact you for a follow-up interview just to kind of see, hey, explain to me how you solved this. And it's just kind of if we put it in the course outline, then you know that we can do it. And I don't know, I don't suspect that it's anything that I'm gonna do hardcore, but just be aware that it can happen. So some of these department policies are going to be, you know, irrelevant because we're online. But in general, if you miss class, that's up to you to stay on top of things. And so, of course, with the videos being posted, I expect you to read or check on the videos and just kind of stay on top of the material. About the final exam, even though it's only worth 20% of your grade, you need to get more than 45% on the final in order to be able to pass the whole course. Okay, so if you're, you know, doing the problems and working through homework and tests and stuff, that's not a problem. You should be able to put together more than 45% on the final, but just so that you're aware. Okay? Yeah, so for the calculators, all it says here is that you're allowed a non-programmable, non-graphing scientific calculator. And then graphing calculators are permitted at the discretion of moi. I will give you a formula sheet. What I did last term, or last year, I guess, was I let people make their own formula sheets, which is harder than it sounds, right? But at least then you can kind of do whatever you want and have whatever you want on there. And I might do that again just because, well, you are testing at home, so I can't keep track of what you have anyways. So I think that's what we'll do. Make your own formula sheet. Can we use Microsoft Excel? Sure, absolutely. Yeah, why not? If you love Excel, Excel's pretty fun, then go for it. It has all these functions anyways, so yeah, why not? And it's good to be comfortable in Excel anyways. So then just some important dates, which I suspect that Allison and the crew just kind of went through already. But the last day to withdraw without a W is next Friday. And then with a W is October 30th, so you've got a long time there. And then of course we've got 2 holidays. Thanksgiving is a Monday, doesn't concern us, and Remembrance Day is a Wednesday, also doesn't concern us because we meet Tuesday, Thursdays. You know, bummer. And it doesn't look like we're getting any more days off there, but anyways. What's nice about you guys having your orientation done already is that I know that all these final exam and academic integrity policies and just student conduct policies, blah, 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 all those things have already been covered. So that is all I have for you. Are there any questions? Let me go back to my notes here in case there's anything there. I think we're good. Keep wanting to scroll on my computer instead of on my iPad. Okay. So so technically a TI-83 is not allowed. I'd say you're welcome to use one because it's a programmable calculator, but I have my TI-82 somewhere and it's awesome. So yeah, go for it. You can use a TI-83. There's no real advantage to having that one over a normal one, so go for it. Any other questions? I'm going to stop screen sharing before it kicks me out again. Good. Any other questions? How are we doing for time anyways? Hey, not bad. Well, quick first class. It's good to be back. So a programmable calculator is, do I have it anywhere close by? All the TI-80, I think TI-83 is TI-83, I think is programmable. Yeah. You can actually just, well, I think now you can probably just connect it to your computer. But back in the day when I was in high school, we used to have to get the TI-82 or 81 or whatever they were. And you can actually program stuff in there. It's really hard and very time consuming, so it's not really worth it. But yeah, so TI-83 is programmable. Worth checking out. That's why it costs so much. Any other questions? No? All right. No other questions? Then I will let you get on with your morning. Oh, I have another question. Does anyone have a class or a lab, more importantly, a lab right after a class? So on Tuesdays or Thursdays that I should be aware of? No. Okay. If you do, maybe just send me a text or an email. Okay. Okay. So usually we would go for another hour, I think, technically. But I just want to make sure that no one has to run to a physical lab. That if you're just, if you're online, then that's all right. But I just want to make sure because there are some courses where you're online and then you have to run to an actual physical lab, and that's kind of hard to work around. So just making sure. But if that's you, then let me know kind of maybe separately. All right, cool. Chemistry, online at 11 on Tuesday. Nice. Okay, looks like we're in the clear. All right, I'll let you guys go. See you on Tuesday. See ya. Nice to meet you.